Hi, I'm Kyla Chipman. I'm 20 years old and a junior at the Pennsylvania State University. I grew up in Hong Kong and I'm a rugby player. So my dad's American and my mom is Thai. They met in Hong Kong a while ago, so I'm a mix. I have an older brother who's 26 and he was actually the one that got me started into rugby. He played while he was in high school and did a little bit of club stuff and then went on for the national team, and I watched him play almost every single rugby game and decided it was something that I really wanted to do. I really enjoyed every aspect of the game. You know, you had the kicking aspect, you got to run with the ball, you had contact, and I'd always played a lot of sports. I was playing basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, I swam, I did everything. So I think I really wanted to challenge myself, and rugby seemed like the appropriate sport to do that. So I thought, this is it, you know, I think I've really found the sport for myself. I played rugby in Hong Kong. I started about 6 years ago when I was a first year in high school. I played sevens for a few years and then decided I wanted to continue on and learn about 15s. I remember my first ever practice. I rolled up to a football club and there was Royce Chan, and as soon as I got there, she's already like, you might be okay at the sport. I was like, thanks, Royce. And she taught me almost everything I know. She would stay after and pass with me, or would stay after and teach me some contact drills. So when I was looking into universities in the US, I decided to look into schools that had been kind of successful in rugby and had a strong rugby program. And from there I chose the Penn State University. The team itself had already won 8 national championships. The coach for it was the coach for the women's Eagles team, and I'd known a few players there. I'd gone to a couple camps there over the summer and decided that it was the right place for me. Penn State's actually in the dead center of Pennsylvania, and we're about 5 hours from New York City, about 4 hours from New Jersey, so we're on the East Coast. It's a very beautiful town, and we're near Philadelphia, which is also like a pretty big rugby city. It's the home of the Collegiate Rugby Championships, the CRCs, which is a pretty popular rugby tournament that college teams play in. Since then, I've won 2 national championships in 15s, and last year was the first year USA Rugby decided to do a sevens national championship, and our school competed in that as well and also won that. In the US, it's pretty different. You play maybe a game a weekend if you live in an area that's close to a lot of other small schools. I'm very fortunate to go to a big school, and we have a lot of players, so if we don't get games on the weekend, we have a lot of inter-squad scrimmages. But for the most part in the US, it's really difficult to get games because you'd have to travel 4 or 5 hours to the nearest school to be able to play, and because of the different levels of play in the US, it's also difficult to find like a competitive match or a match that's well suited to your own team. The sport's relatively new. A lot of people don't know what rugby is either. If you ask them, they ask if it's lacrosse or something, or if it's the one with the stick. It's really crazy. So when you have to explain it to people, you explain it as football backwards. So a lot of people, because they don't know what the sport is, there's not a lot of opportunities or teams to play for, so a lot of players have to travel really far just so that they are able to learn and get exposure to the game. It's great to be back home. I love coming back home. It's so nice to be able to go anywhere on a Saturday and be able to watch rugby or turn on the TV and rugby's on. I love Hong Kong so much. It's so nice to have great weather, be able to go to the beach in the morning, hike in the afternoon, and then be out in the city at night. It's such a unique city, and there's no place like it. One of my first rugby memories ever was at the Kings Park pitch. It must have been my 2nd or 3rd game ever, and I remember I had no idea what I was doing. Somebody had kicked me the ball off a kickoff, and it was probably my 3rd game ever, and I turned around and ran in the wrong direction completely, almost out the back of the pitch. I never did that again. And from there, I was like, I got to get better at this. So I started playing a little bit more competitively, and then a lot of my earlier memories are actually like playing at football club. I came and played for the age grade, so did a lot of stuff with the under-18s team. So that was really great to be able to, come like a half an hour and be able to play on a pitch and then go home and hang out with my friends and stuff like that. We did a lot of tournaments at my school too. We competed a lot. Went to places like Beijing and Shanghai once a season or twice a season and got to play competitively among those high schools. I was actually on an airplane. I was just about to get on my flight to come back home. I'd just been to a couple of the training camps that they had prior to selections, and I checked my email, and I'd gotten an email from the head coach At the time, the first year was Danielle Miller, and it said, "Congratulations, you've been accepted." And I remember just freaking out because it was such a great opportunity for me to be able to play under 20s at such a high level like that, and be able to say that I was an All-American was like a really great honor to me. My parents were so excited for me. My dad, I think, was, you know, pretty speechless when he answered the phone. You know, he's like, what do you mean you got selected for the team you tried out for? And, you know, he was just beyond overjoyed. I think the most excited person in my family, though, is my brother. He's by far my biggest fan and is always asking me how I'm doing, is always wondering, you know, like, what's the next thing for you? How can you further this? How can you push yourself more? And, you know, as soon as I told him, he was so proud. He made like a Facebook status about it. He told all of his friends. By the time I landed in Hong Kong, I had multiple texts congratulating me. When I went out to go see my friends, you know, everyone had already known, and I'd only been on the plane for 12 hours. And by then, like, half of Hong Kong had known that I'd made the team. It was really exciting the first time we got to step out on the field. Because I was captain, I actually got to stand right in the front. So I was standing right there with the flag right in front of me, and it was just putting on the jersey and having the stars and stripes over your heart just gives this sense of pride. I know people joke about Americans being really patriotic, but standing there and having the shield over you just instills this sense of pride that you're so proud to play for your country. And so the next World Cup cycle is in 2017, and that's definitely a goal of mine. Being on the U20 team is a pathway into being part of the Eagles pool, and it's something I've just dreamed about for the last few years, and something that's really exciting that it could actually come to fruition for me. If I don't make this cycle, I definitely am looking at the 2021 World Cup as a possibility. I'm really surrounded myself with great facilities, with great coaching, great people and players, and definitely is just a great place for me to be able to achieve my goals. I don't like to be a standout player. I think that that's just not my style of play. I really like to step on the field and make a difference, but in the way that, like, I'm very reliable wherever I am. It's you know, if I hit a ruck, I'm clearing out a ruck, or if I'm taking the ball, I'm always getting goal forward. If somebody's made a break, I'm there for the offload. That's a player I aspire to be, and I'm so lucky that, like, I get to be surrounded by people that are doing that every day. So it's just an inspiration of mine to be able to evoke other players. I really think a strength of mine is my attack, so being an 8-man, I think, is actually one of the perfect positions for me, because I get to pick the ball off up the back of the scrum, and it's really fun to take it into contact, and I love hitting the rucks. It's just, the contact piece of rugby is definitely my favorite part of it. I definitely think that the back row is best suited for me. Whether it be 6 or 8, I'm just thankful to be in the back row at all. My favorite rugby player is the number 8 for the Eagles. Her name's Kate Daly. She's just been an inspiration of mine for a long time. Before I even went to university, I'd seen her play in a few games, and I'd watched a lot of the women's Eagles play, and she's just got great work rate and just embodies everything you want in a rugby player and a back row player and a leader in general. You know, as soon as she steps on the field, you know she's going to make an impact. I definitely love to see rugby become like a household name, or just to be able to turn on the TV and see rugby would just be like a huge win. I think the way rugby is developing right now, that's definitely something that's in the cards. There's so much growth in the game within the last year that 5 years from now, I could see rugby, like, with the fruition of the pro league. It's just going to be, I'm really excited to see it become like a regular part of American everyday lives. Okay.
Let's talk about boys.
Oh my gosh, there's like none, like no boyfriends. I'm more athletic than a lot of them. That's a struggle. It's also hard when you can, like, lift more than boys, you know. Oh, bad. I like to date rugby players. That's a thing. Oh my God, my mom's gonna kill me. Oh no. I'm Kyla Chipman, All-American, and you're watching the Rugby Asia channel. Why with the laughing? Oh no, okay. I'm Kyla Chipman, All-American, and you're watching the Rugby Asia channel. I don't know what to do with my mouth! I'm Kyla Chipman, All-American, and you're watching the Rugby Asia channel. I'm sorry, I'm so bad, I can't. No straight face. I don't know how to not like smile. Can I just like smile? I'm just gonna smile at the end. Just like regular smile though, not like weird, creepy. I'm Kyla Chipman, U20 All-American, and you're watching the Rugby Asia channel. I'm sorry. You're making me laugh, which is worse. Okay. Oh my God, it's gonna look so uncomfortable on TV. I would be so mad at myself. I'm Kyla Chipman, Junior All-American, and you're watching the Rugby Asia channel.